Hello and welcome to Therapeutic Thursday. So I woke up early this morning and it's cold here. I'm in northeastern Wisconsin. It's like 40 some degrees overnight, windows open, freezing, right? And I started thinking about shadow work. Shadow work is such a thing in the spiritual community, right? I've helped people with shadow work. I've taught about shadow work. In fall, when it starts getting cold, we start thinking about shadow work. It's that perfect time to really go within, right? When we have the jaguar Odorongo who comes and helps us to really dive deep within ourselves to see what needs to be healed, what we need to work on. But here's the thing. Something that I have learned in my spiritual work, with working with people, but also with, going through my social work training, in my master's program and learning how to be a therapist, is there are things that we should, as spiritual workers, maybe we should have a little more training on how to help people to go through, whether it's inner child work or the shadow work, because sometimes we get in pretty deep, right? We have traumas, and those traumas can be pretty intense. And, a lot of people need support during those times. So here's something that I wanted to share with you guys. So if you are doing your own shadow work, or even if you're helping somebody else, just know that when you go in, you don't have to relive traumas. That's something you don't ever have to do. We're working on the energy of the situation, working on trying to change the way our body stores this information, change the way that the body stores the trauma is really the key. So similar to different therapeutic models work, like EMDR is one that's perfect, where it actually goes into your brain, your neural activity, your wiring, and where you stored your trauma, which is usually in the wrong place, right? So EMDR goes in and actually changes the way it unconnects from where that trauma is stored and puts it in the correct place. But again, you're not reliving the trauma. So going back to, our shadow work that's in the spiritual community, don't relive your trauma. You're trying to work on the energy and how you're responding. So your reaction and understanding why and how your body and your mind reacts to certain stimuli. And with shadow work, it's really going in and being able to be gentle with yourself. Same with, and it's very similar to inner child work. I have I'm not sure if I have it recorded or not, but I used to guide people when I would do the shamanic type of healing and the energetic healing, for going into journey into your heart center to work with your inner child. And for shadow work, I think those two work very well together, because you're going in and you're being so gentle with yourself, right? You're going in and talking to your younger self. You would never talk poorly like we do. The self-talk that we have as adults, and even as children and teenagers as well, but especially as adults, we're so critical of ourselves. And when we utilize our inner child or do this type of shadow work, it's really about talking to ourselves in a gentle way, in an understanding way, in a helpful way. So it's like talking to your, how you would talk to your best friend, or how you would talk to yourself, if you were 7 or 8, or, whatever age you choose. And really, it's about forgiving yourself. Like I said, we are so hard on how we have been, how we handled our traumas. Even though our traumas are not our fault, yet we're hard on ourselves and blame ourselves for how we've reacted to them, how we've been through our life due to them. And so understanding that there's a reaction, and sometimes it's unconscious, you don't realize it. So shadow work is really going into that unconscious, so you understand or realize that you are reacting because of a trauma. And what that can do you can then work on changing the way you react, altering the way you react. And shadow work isn't a fix-all. You're not going to go in and work for even a season and be able to fix everything. It just doesn't work that way. But you will be able to help yourself to understand and alter how you react. So going in and working on things so that you understand. Again, it's unclouding that unconsciousness, right? Going in and understanding the reasons why you do some of the things that you do. And by being gentle and bringing that to the conscious level, you're able to change things. And again, like I said, I think working with the inner child really helps. I believe I do have in a video, guided meditation to your heart center, going into your heart center, meeting your inner child, and playing too, being joyful, being so gentle and kind. And your inner child may be so scared, maybe so hurt. And there's a trust factor there, that there's that trust in knowing that everything will be okay, that someone cares for you. And a lot of times that's what we're missing as adults. We don't trust, or we're worried about being hurt. So going in and helping that. And if at what age a significant trauma happened, go and talk to yourself then, even if it's an adult, it's still in the past. Going in and doing that work with yourself. So shadow work has many different methods. Journaling helps. Doing more journeying. The energetic journeying, I guess I can say, similar to the shamanic journeying. Going in and visualizing what you're doing, visualizing going into the heart center, visualizing talking to yourself in a meditative state. Get in that altered type of state, whether that's with dancing, whether that's with swaying or drumming, and really working on yourself that way. I find that to be the most beneficial. Talking to somebody, even talking to yourself, talking to your higher self, doing channeled writing or automatic writing, that can help too. The journaling, walking, and releasing. Don't forget to release some of these things that you find. So you're working on them, but also know that you need to release some of this energy. And we've talked about how to release in other videos. There's that hummingbird. They have been just crazy lately. So I will cut this now, as I like making these short. Thank you so much for joining us for this Therapeutic Thursday. And let me know, how do you do your shadow work? And are you feeling that pull yet? Or is it just because I'm in Wisconsin and we got a cold front? So anyhow, I will see you next week. Much love. See you later.